Hey everyone, it's Travis, the Pagan Scholar, here with another episode of Tarot and Poetry. Today we're going to be talking about the Wheel of Fortune. I'm coming at you, sitting at my altar outside on the last pleasant day before summer in Texas. So, as I said, we are talking about the Wheel of Fortune. As always, as I was researching the card, I realized my interpretation was a little bit off from the typical idea of the Wheel of Fortune. Binabelwin. We turn to page 93 to read, the Wheel of Fortune is the Karma card. Duh. Like, oh yeah. What goes up will come down, what hits bottom will bounce up. Forces are in motion, there may be a turn of luck. The card could represent a force majeure coming into the seeker's life, an act of God. Chance occurrence, unavoidable accident, or matter beyond the seeker's control may happen and affect the outcome of events. Typically, whenever I've interpreted the Wheel of Fortune, I've always kind of considered it like the cop-out card. I don't like to believe in luck. I think that you can bolster your chance of something happening. You can increase the probability of things happening, but I don't believe in luck. I think that that's kind of, I believe luck and hope and faith and all of these things, they're kind of up to the personal, connection between oneself and their outside world. That's totally okay if you believe in luck. I think luck is a lovely concept. It's just I can't stake my future on luck. I can't. So, in very personal readings and readings that I do for myself, this card is always sort of this panoramic objective view of the world, and I know this is kind of old hat for me and my interpretation of cards, but it's where am I placing my blame? What am I saying? I was unlucky, or that was an unlucky situation. Like, where am I, pushing off my responsibility onto an external force? But I think that it's really interesting how the two kind of combine, how luck can be this really positive thing that we can invoke, but when it's unlucky, it's something that we're like, get away from me, this is bad, this is terrible, I didn't invite this into my life, why is this here? And then we blame ourselves, and then we're casting blame upon other things, upon ourselves. Very convoluted, very strange, very weird. I think that the three cards that I've got progress from this static idea of the Wheel of Fortune as luck into this idea of objective, panoramic, where are we placing blame? First off, we have the Rider-Waite deck. It's super duper Christian. Alright, we've got 4 angels represented by a bull, a lion, an eagle, and an angel. We have a sphinx sitting on top of the wheel. We have a serpent that is typically associated with humanity. A demon moving this wheel, and this is really, really Christian. We've got Hebrew letters spelling out Yahweh, and we've got Rota, or Tarot, or Torah, depending on like which way you're going, where you're starting on the wheel. Again, and then we've got alchemical symbols on the wheel itself, ripe with Christian imagery. Fun fact, well, not fact, but just thing that you can note, is Torah is on the High Priestess, the second card of the Major Arcana, is on the scroll that she's holding, and so the High Priestess and the Wheel of Fortune are connected in that way. So my takeaway from the Rider-Waite tarot deck is that luck is something that can be petitioned, because it is so heavily laden with this Christian imagery, this idea that it can be called upon, brought down into our lives, which is contrary to luck, because luck is blind, luck is without prejudice, luck is shitty. But regardless. The next card that I want to show you is actually from the Fantasy tarot deck. It's interesting that the Wheel of Fortune is actually the back of all of the cards done 4 ways, so that's pretty neat. The Wheel of Fortune in the Fantasy tarot deck is a bit more of a machine. It's a little bit more of a kind of a steampunk idea, but it's still got these hieroglyphs on it. It's still got these engravings of the secret language of God, the secret name of God, all this other stuff. However, it's you can see that it's sort of left alone, and that there is a city in the background of the card. This kind of means that luck is removed from from everyday life. Karma is removed. This panoramic perspective of taking all things into account. It's not caught up in the daily life of things. So it's not something like a lucky rabbit's foot. It's not something like stepping on a crack. It's something much more cosmic, much more removed. And it's kind of this machine-like quality to it that can't necessarily be besieged or petitioned in such a way as like religion. All right, the final card that I want to show you is from Night Sun, and it is super fucking cool. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I love the influence of the I Ching on this card. How in the background, in those 3 lines, you have all of the different hexagrams, hexams. I am so bad, I totally forgot what that is. But yeah, the arrangement of 6 lines. I used to be able to read some I Ching, but that was high school. And cultural appropriation. But I love this card because it is total Clockwork universe. It's this wooden robot that is running a wheel on top of another wheel, run by another robot that is run on another wheel, and it's cogs and it's clockwork and it's so, and he's pushing another robot. I just noticed that for the first time. So it's this orchestrated, lovely, calculated, esteemed, beautiful I Ching idea of a lot of things, but of this harmony, of this disconnect and this disinterested idea that karma and luck and fate and chance and all of these different things, serendipity, synchronicity, all of these things, it's just this objective, very removed from humanity thing. It isn't necessarily caught up in the daily woes and sorrows of our lives. It's not something that can be petitioned necessarily, but it's something to be observed and it's something to be appreciated. And I think that if we can find correlations between, I don't know, if we look for synchronicity, we find it, totally. I am not a synchronicity advocate person. I am aware of it and I appreciate it, but it's not something that I actively strive for. I strive for more of an objective idea. That's not to say that it's better or worse. It's just that is the element that I work with whenever I use the Wheel of Fortune card. Some people use synchronicity and luck and karma. Other people, like myself, are looking at the where am I placing blame and why am I blaming a machine. It's kind of out there, kind of weird, but surprise, surprise, I have a strange interpretation of a tarot card. The poem that I'm going to read to you is not by a celebrated poet. I'm breaking my own rule. This is by Catherine M. Valent, and it's, yeah. This is a collection of poems called Oracles, a Pilgrimage. This is my favorite poetry book that is not by a celebrated, like, professional, recognized poet. She is celebrated in my heart, absolutely. This is a collection of poems, and all of the poems are the Oracle at, insert the name of the city. So the first one is the Oracle at Detroit. The next one is the Oracle at Boston. The next one is the Oracle at Savannah. So all of the different oracles have this very specific sound and flavor and feeling and scent, and just all of the senses, they come together in this beautifully geographical specific place. And that's what the Oracle embodies. What better poem to read for the Wheel of Fortune than the Oracle at Las Vegas? This poem's phenomenal, to me. This is how an oracle sees: a card, a pair of dice, a spinning coin, a stone, a rune, a bird's flight, an organ, a word. Divinity of random selection. Value is assigned to a group of objects. One or more are chosen at random. That the luck of the draw has meaning, holds it like an apple seed buried in so much meaningless meat. This is the source of all divination. That I drew the magician and not the chariot is significant, even profound. That the liver is rotted in a particular pattern, or manas is drawn from the rune bag instead of ewas. That 3 cherries clatter up from silver-piped depth. fifths and not lemons, or sevens, or black bars like gravestones. This must mean good fortune, good harvest, many sons, victory in war. If one random combination of objects is sacred, all must be. The man from Kansas City did not draw the 9 of spades at the emerald blackjack table. Its velvet-vested keeper stands at attention in spangled eyeshadow and a bad bleach job. He does not begin to glimpse the crevice between her sleek shoes, panting yellow smoke which rubs her nylon-sheathed calves with obscene and musk-mouthed insistence. Instead, his hand is full of hearts, bleeding like busts of Mary, and the dealer bites her lip, whispers amid babble towers of green and white chips that his wife will leave him for an investment banker within the year. Drowned in the pink neon pools of jackpot and, sorry, please try again. The oracle is the mouth of probability and improbability. Opening and closing in the salt tide, the source of non-random chance, it slides out of her into the slow of holy objects, a card, a pair of dice, a spinning coin, a reeling hexagram line of slot machines, the minor arcana of the blue bicycle deck. And behind the glittering palace, after hours, she climbs into the tin dumpster to cut open what is left of the night's prime rib special, searching the ley lines of gristle and fat for purpose, for Kansas City, and a body with turquoise lips floating up the Missouri, with the dog-eared 9 of hearts in the back pocket of his jeans. Just in time for the child to start crying again. All right. My reading is a little bit rushed. It's a little fluid. This poem is definitely meant to be read and dwelled upon. I highly, highly recommend this book to everybody. I know I recommend a lot of books, but oh my god, it's so important. Please, please, please. This is what the cover looks like, and this is the back. I'm not actually going to go through the entire poem and interpret all of it. I'm going to pick out my favorite lines, because some poetry is not meant to be interpreted, it's meant to be appreciated and felt. If one random combination of objects is sacred, all must be. That's so significant, because it's all or nothing. It's called the scandal of identity. People being saved and people not being saved. If you're subscribing to the Christian ideology that some people will go to hell, the scandal of identity is that we are all saved or we are all damned. There can't be a specific few. There can't be like the quarterback that like God was watching out for, making sure that pass was not intercepted or other football words. But yeah, like, God cannot pick and choose. In divination, all combinations must be sacred, or none can be. None. The man from Kansas City did not draw the 9 of spades at the emerald blackjack table. Instead, his hand is full of hearts, bleeding like the busts of Mary, and the dealer bites her lip. So, a man is at a gambling table. He does not draw the 9 of spades. He has a bunch of hearts in his hand while he is gambling. Later, the dealer, who is the oracle of Las Vegas, climbs into the tin dumpster to cut open what is left of the night's prime rib, divining what is left of this steak, searching the ley lines of gristle and fat for purpose, for Kansas City and a body, with turquoise lips floating up the Missouri, with the dog-eared 9 of hearts in the back pocket of his jeans. Shivers. Okay, so it's so fucking good. I highly doubt that this is anywhere online, so I'm going to take pictures of it and post it. So good. She's so fucking good. So yeah, this has been my fangirling video of The Wheel of Fortune. Very spur of the moment. Didn't realize I was going to make this video today, but it happened. If you have a poem that you think fits with The Wheel of Fortune, please tell me. I love reading poetry. Thank you so much again for watching. A like is appreciated, a subscription even more so, and as always, merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again.